The opinions expressed of this show are for entertainment purposes and should not be misconstrued or interpreted as fact. If you have a gambling problem, call 1 800 522 4700.
Let's go, guys. Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome to Walk Off Wagers presented by Pub Sports Radio. Over here, 8 a.m. over here on the West Coast, 11 a.m. over there where my guy Spoons Bets is at. Guys, we break down the entire MLB card, give you guys our best bets, and we break down the market, our analysis, and the weather as well. Me and Spoons have been doing this for quite some time now. We haven't missed one show, and this is unfortunately our last show of the season, guys. So shout out to everyone in the chat that's been here through it all. We've got nothing but good ratings from doing this show, and it's all because of you guys. So we appreciate you guys. But Spoons, how are you, my guy? Happy Sunday. How's your week been going? And do you have any plays already posted for today?
I've been having a pretty decent week. Been one of those roller coaster up and down, either really good days or really bad day kind of thing. Yesterday was a really good day. Just one bet in college football there with Ohio State. Was really happy to see that come through. Had a couple units on that. 4-3 in baseball. Really could have been 5-2, 6-1. It was so close. Some ninth inning last at bats decided it. I'm pretty excited. I got a huge card for today. I have 9 bets already in.
Let's go. And shout out to everyone in the chat. Our guy Stacks is here early and often. Stacks play the day Hurricanes +3 -108. The Miami Hurricanes. Okay. All right. Some college football in there. Shout out to my guy Gorky. Please look at your D. I will, my guy. Shout out to my guy TC. Dropped a $199 dono. He said LSU. That's right. I think he said he was on LSU money line yesterday. He was on an island on that one. There wasn't many people on LSU yesterday, and they took care of business. Brian Kelly finally was able to break free of that no-win start to the season. Shout out to our guy Nasty Nate in the building. Said, what's good, Gorky? Shout out to you again for another dono, my friend. Jimmy the Bag said, congratulations, Spooner and Wine Time, on a great run of shows. You guys did a hell of a job. Appreciate you, Jimmy. Appreciate you giving us the opportunity to do this. I've learned a lot here working with my guy Spoons over these last couple months, talking the diamond. So it's been a great time. Shout out to my guy Sports Scientist Jacob in the building, Ron Lofton, Rude Boy, Dave McKinnon, Turnbuckle Tommy Floyd, Mo Harris in the building, Keys, everyone in there, Tariq B. Shout out to you guys. We've got a large card today to break down, guys, and we've got some college football games later on today. So let's get through this MLB card, though. First off, we've got the Cincinnati Reds facing off against the St. Louis Cardinals here. We've got the Reds as a favorite, the obvious spot here. Brady Singer on the mound here in this game. Let me pull this current lineup that we're sitting at, and we are good. So we've got the Cincinnati Reds currently priced at -147 on the money line. Cardinals are +134. We've got a total here sitting at 8. 2 pitchers on the mound that could be serviceable at times, but also could be complete gas cans, if we're being honest. I mean, Palante, we know, could probably get maybe 4 or 5 innings out of him. Brady Singer is always a question mark, I feel like. Spoons, take it away here. Cardinals, Reds.
Yeah, we're going to have a really nice day here today in Cincinnati. Temperatures in the mid-70s, no chance for rain. Wind blowing from left to right, a little bit in, almost 7 miles an hour. Ballpark Pal has this modeled at +3% runs overall, +4% home runs. So nothing crazy for this park. A lot of times you see that a lot higher. This is a spot where I had to get on Cincinnati Reds. I bet -134 at Bally last night. Brady Singer, he's pitched really well at home this season. We had some concerns with him being a fly ball pitcher and coming into Great American, where some fly balls can really get away from you. But he's got a 3.08 ERA in the full season, and over his last 5 home starts, a 1.76 ERA. He's going into the 6th inning just about every time. He's had a couple blow-ups. He gave up 4 to Pittsburgh on the road and 7 to Washington on the road. But at home, he's been really consistent of late, the second half of the season. And you can't say the same about Palante. We go back 5 games with this guy, 7 earned runs to Pittsburgh, 5 to Miami, 4 to the Yankees, 6 to the Cubs, didn't even get out of the 2nd inning. Even back further, Washington got 7 earned runs off him once, Arizona 5. Like, every time he comes out here, he's given up quite a few meatballs. The Reds' offense isn't nothing to brag about, but I think even they can get a few runs off him. minus 134 seem to close pretty well at this point. A lot of the domestic books have this closer to 150. I feel pretty confident about this one. The bullpen's in a good situation. Betting splits in this game, you have 73% of tickets on the over, 81% of the cash. This opened at a 9 and it's come down all the way to an 8. Some books open this at an 8.5. So quite a bit of movement down, and 78% of the tickets and 69% of the cash on Cincinnati. This line opened at circa has minus 130 Cincinnati opener and 152 current price.
Yeah, this line has moved a lot. Our guy, sports scientist Jacob, in the building. Shout out to our guy, sports scientist Jacob. He got the minus 128 on the Reds at some point. That you killed the line movement. You did too on this as well, Spoons. I could only move it on a -1 here. I think I might get there. This game actually does. We're going to have first pitch probably while we're still on the show. So I'm going to have to take another look at that. And if I do end up making the play with you guys, I'll let you guys know. But we can move on to this next game here. We've got the San Diego Padres against Joey Ryan and the Minnesota Twins. Got the San Diego Padres currently sitting as the underdog with Morgan on the mound. The right-hander is currently sitting at a +106. Twins are a -116. Got in a total of 8.5 here. I mean, I think we know why the Twins are the favorite here, because the Padres aren't a good road team. We were on the Twins on Friday, too. Made some good cash off in that spot. This is another fishy line here, even though you got a clear-cut pitching advantage. Still the San Diego Padres, though. I know they're not a good road team, and we know the Twins are better at home. To me, though, I mean, this would be Twins. Maybe they should be a little more expensive, though, with Joe Ryan on the mound. So -116 right now. Definitely leaning that way, Spoons. This is an interesting game here. Good game right here, Spoons. Take it away. San Diego Padres, Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, this line came really late. They weren't really sure what San Diego was going to do with pitching. So I believe it was the last line to really come out on the board. We have 58% of the tickets on San Diego and 61% of the cash. Depending where you look, this either opened up as San Diego as like 10, 15 point dog, or it opened up as a pick 'em. And right now it's -113 Minnesota, +101 San Diego with the book I like to track. I moved on San Diego last night at +116.
Oh, wow.
I believe Kyle Hart's going to come up, pitch the majority of the innings here. That probably amounts to about 4 innings. They're going to have Morgan out there for an opener for just an inning. And then the San Diego bullpen is ready to go. Everybody's pretty rested. I have a ton of faith in the San Diego Padres bullpen. It's probably the best bullpen in baseball, whether you just look at the statistics or the arms coming out of it.
Yeah.
And I think we just get a bunch of value with them being a dog here. Joe Ryan, one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's been nothing short of elite for most of this season, but his last 2 games out there, 6 earned runs versus Toronto, 5 earned runs versus the Athletics. Hasn't got out of the 5th inning in 3 starts now. So I think he's starting to kind of wear down for the season. I don't think the Twins are going to let him pitch deep into ball games. They need his arm next year. Obviously, they want to roll him out every time they can at home. So I think he'll be out there for probably 5 innings, but that means 4 innings of this Twins bullpen. And that's the opposite how I feel about the Padres bullpen. This Twins bullpen got rid of their 2 best arms. And since then, it's just nobody really knows where they're pitching. You're not comfortable in the 9th if you haven't done it before. I think even if the Padres are down a run or 2 in that first 5 to Joe Ryan, that they get those runs back with the bullpen. As far as the market goes in this game, 60% of the cash on San Diego and 86% of the cash on the over. Opened at an 8 and it's at an 8.5 everywhere now.
All right, our guy Spoons is moving quickly here, guys. As you guys remember in the beginning of the show, my guy, I'd probably be on here firing off plays as we go. Here goes Spoons these last couple weeks, making 5+ plays a day, so shout out to him. He's beating these lines as well, so I like where you're standing on this one, because actually the more I look at this, I feel like maybe the Twins should be a little bit more of a favorite, as bad as the Padres are on the road. So maybe this line's telling us something. It's moved towards the Padres if you got a +116 yesterday, so it's going to keep me off this. I want to give a quick shout out to one of our biggest supporters here at Pub Sports, the Scum Blaster, $4.99 dono. Scum Blaster, play of the day, full card athletics, money line, +120, like that. Miami in football, +3, -110. I'm seeing a lot of Miami love all of a sudden today. And Valkyrie's money line, +110. I'm going to guess that is in women's basketball. Shout out to our guy Scum Blaster. I need this, Spoons. It's kind of a rough day in college football for me, so I'm going to take a shot for you guys on screen. Shout out to you guys. This is going to end up being a pass for me over here. Don't want to move on this game, but we can move to our next game here. Spoons is already locked in on the first 2 games, though. We'll recap the action at the end of the show. Next game here. Let me pull this up real quick. Oh, shout out to our guy Razor Sharp Picks in the building. So shout out to everyone. What's up, fellas? What's up, chat? Love today's MLB card, and we are firing away 7 MLB bets for me today. Let's get it. You guys are attacking the card when everyone else is worried about football. I love that because you guys are going to have an edge here. So shout out to you guys. We got Mitch Helen Keller. I wish I could pull that graphic up so you guys can see how much of a smoke show she actually is. Got Lucas Giolito here on the mound for the Boston Red Sox. Seems like we talk about Giolito every single Sunday, Spoons. I got to go back and see.
It does feel like that.
It seems like he's
not our first Giolito
Sunday. Right now, we're currently sitting Boston Red Sox minus 170. I mean, I know it's Giolito on the mound. I mean, to say I know it's Giolito is crazy because he's pitching so well this season. But as the time goes on, I think he might be a little bit vulnerable. But seeing him priced at this price against Mitch Helen Keller, a pitcher that's definitely was pitching better in the beginning of the season and has kind of came back to life post All-Star or post trade deadline, didn't end up getting traded. And he's kind of been mediocre since. With that being said here, I mean, the Red Sox being this price at a minus 170 with Lucas Gio on the mound against Mitch Keller, I don't really know who has the pitching advantage here. If I'm looking at an X's and O's standpoint, maybe even Mitch Helen Keller has the pitching advantage in the long run, but I'm not too sure. This is a tough spot here. I mean, the Pittsburgh Pirates plus 156 right now. We've got a total of 8.5. Our Red Sox team total of 4.5, a little bit juice to the over at minus 120, minus 125. So we might see some runs here going against Mitch Keller. Spoons, you got anything in this ball game?
This is the first game of the day I do not have anything on. Kind of struggled with this price as well. Lucas Giolito, I don't think of as being capable of laying minus 170 to anybody, but if we go look at his recent form, his last 10 games, he's got 3 starts where he's given up more than 3 earned runs. And that's sprinkled with a bunch of games pitching into the 8th, including his last start versus Baltimore. He went on the road versus 2 division opponents, faced Baltimore and New York, threw 96 pitches in that New York start, like 104 in that Baltimore start, pitched through 8 innings, 0 earned runs. It was a great start, but it's really hard to back a pitcher you don't have a ton of confidence in coming off 2 really deep starts like that, big starts. I couldn't get there with Pittsburgh. Their offense is just kind of putrid. Just saw him against a pretty good pitcher in Sonny Gray the other day. He pitched 7 innings, 1 earned run. They've been able to get to some of the bad pitchers in the league, like Palante, Senzatella. But when you have a decent pitcher out there, it seems like they're getting 1 to 2 runs max. And even if Mitch Keller comes out there and pitches well, I still expect Boston to be able to get more runs than that off him in the bullpen. He's had a lot of starts lately where he's been north of 5 earned runs. Gave it up to Colorado, Milwaukee, Toronto. Granted, those are really good offenses, but this Boston team's starting to play like a playoff team down the stretch. I think they need this win. I believe they dropped the first 2 games of this series to Pittsburgh. So I think it's kind of built in. If you're going to play it, it's got to be the -1. It's just, I couldn't do it. 65% of the tickets on Boston, 78% of the cash. This line hasn't really moved a ton. Minus 172 opener, got up to minus 190, and it's back down to 177 now. So not really respecting all that Boston money. Maybe Pittsburgh's a little live. Maybe it's just sharps keeping the market in line with where it should be in a Giolito start. A lot of cash on the over, 70% of the cash. This line has come down a few cents on the actual over. It was juiced to the over 8.5 at start. Now it's just sitting at 8.5. I don't really know what to make of it. Ballpark Pal has this modeled as a pretty offensive game, plus 9%, minus 18% home runs. So it's all in the doubles and triples and singles. But with these pitchers, I could probably only be on Pittsburgh here. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Too much back and forth, so I'm off it.
Spoons is off this one, guys, but I figured it out. Guys, be ready for this. You guys are going to be blown away by this right here. An absolute smoke show right there. Mitch Helen Keller, what my guy Jimmy the Bag would say. Shout out to Mitch Helen Keller over there. Yeah, this is going to be a stay away game for me. I just couldn't lay this pricey with the Boston Red Sox, Spoons. But yeah, I mean, this team's going to the playoffs. Shout out to our guy Jose Bouquet. wasn't a team I was probably more wrong on this season than the Boston Red Sox, especially when they're facing the Angels. I said two teams heading opposite directions. I was completely wrong on that one. So shout out to him and the Red Sox as they're playing some good ball right now. We can move on to this next game here. We've got Maximus Scherzer here on the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays here against the Milwaukee Brewers. We kind of joked about it on Friday. This might be a World Series preview matchup. By all means, it very well could be. These are two really good baseball teams that are playing some really good baseball the second half of the season specifically. Max Scherzer has been pitching better. I'm actually looking at his numbers right now. I didn't know they were actually decent. I thought he was kind of having a bad year. He's been pitching well this season. You got Brandon Woodruff on the mound. And this guy was hurt for a long time. We all knew who this guy was a couple years ago. He was their number one guy. Pitched really well for them down this stretch, and they got him healthy for the playoffs this year. So the shout out to them. This is a really good matchup right here, guys. Currently sitting. This opened around, I believe, where it is right now. No, I would say it actually has moved a little bit. I think I saw a Milwaukee Brewers minus 112 at one point last night. When I was glancing over the games. I could be wrong on that one, but it does seem like it's gone down a little bit. They're both minus 105 both ways here. Interesting thing for me here, Spoons, I think I'm going to make my first play in this game here. I'm going to take the two older guys here on the mound. And I think Woodruff's a little bit older, if I'm not mistaken. He's got to be. Don't have his age pulled up right here, but I'm going to bet that both these pitchers go out there and pitch well here on a Sunday afternoon in Toronto. The line opened up around an 8.5, I believe, last night. We're at an 8 right now at minus 110. This seems like an under spot for me that both these pitchers can go out there and pitch well. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to make my first play of the day official right here. We've got Milwaukee Brewers, Blue Jays under 8, minus 110. I'm going to trust both these pitchers go out there and pitch well. I just want to take a look at the first 5. Brewers, a 15 cents difference on the first 5 money line wise, and the total is 4, a little bit juice to the over at minus 115. They're telling us that Woodruff's probably going to pitch better than Scherzer with 15 cents better, which is kind of interesting because down the stretch, I think I would trust the Brewers, but this is a tough game sidewise. I'm going to move on the under 8 full game right here, minus 110. I think if Scherzer gives up any runs here, he might give up a long ball or two, but he usually does when there's no runners on base. And other than that, if he's not making mistakes out there, he still has some good stuff. So I'm going to take the under 8, minus 110, my first official play of the day on a Sunday afternoon. Spoons, take it away, Brewers, Blue Jays.
Well, I hate to hear that because I'm on the over in this game, but
well, I gotta hear it, Spoons. I gotta hear it.
This market has definitely come down. There was a lot of 8.5s last night. It started moving to an 8. I assume this would probably pop back up to an 8.5 by this point. Like I said, I'm on that over 8. Where's the market gone in this game? So we have 54% of the tickets on the Milwaukee Brewers, 51% of the cash, 86% of the tickets on the under, and 94% of the cash on the under. A lot of people expect this to be a low-scoring game. I guess you're among them. I look at Brandon Woodruff, and I had his last start circled to Arizona, and I'd bet an over in that game, just expecting some regression from him. He's pitched really well since coming back from an injury, but it was against a lot of kind of weaker lineups, a Miami team, a Washington team, multiple times that are just kind of out of it here in the second half of the season, dealing with injuries. Pitched a really good game versus the New York Mets, went 7 innings, just 2 earned runs. But outside of that, his last 2 starts versus the Cubs in Arizona, 8 earned runs, 10 hits, 3 walks between them. So I just think this Blue Jays lineup, also looking to get a win, I believe avoid the sweep versus the Brewers. I think they'll be able to get some runs off Woodruff and this bullpen, and this Milwaukee offense just does not quit. They don't get them early, they get them late. They get them early. They continue to get them throughout the game. It seems like every time I look, they have 3 or 4 runs on the board every single day, no matter who's pitching. I just thought this total was too low. As far as the weather goes in this, I do expect the roof open. Temperatures in the mid-70s, no chance for rain, wind blowing out 6 to 7 miles an hour. Ballpark Pal has it modeled at minus 1% runs overall, so nothing crazy for the day. Hate to see you on the other side. I just think these starters can give it up a little bit. And watching that Blue Jays bullpen late recently, there's not a lot of guys I trust back there.
Something interesting I want to bring up to you, Spoons, as well. Why is the first 5 a 4.5 and the full game's an 8? Like, it seems like they're expecting a little bit more runs here in the first 5, but towards the end of the game, maybe the bullpens come out here and pitch well. Anything to say about that? Because I feel like this should be a 4 in the first 5. But yeah, wait, let me just double check. Maybe I'm reading something wrong here. Before first 5 right here. Oh, we've got a 4. I apologize. It's a 4 juice to the over at -115. So that's not really fishy at all. Both team totals 1.5. Both juice to the over. But all right, me and Spoons head to head on this one, guys. That's what makes it fun though about the show. Sometimes we're on the same place. Sometimes we're not on the same game. Sometimes we're on opposite sides. One of us, at least one of us, will win in this one, right, Spoons? Or we both push. That's not the worst thing either. I'll take a push. I'll take a push. Oh yeah, I'll take a push over a loss any day of the week here. So me and Spoons are both locked in on this one. I'm on the under. Spoons is on the. What was the number you got on the over?
I got -120. You can get -110 now, but I paid a little bit of juice last night, expecting it to bounce back up.
All right, guys, we are locked in. We'll move on to this next game, a game that's we've seen some line movement in this one as well. Sandy Alcantara on the mound here for the Marlins. I don't know if I have a worse ROI backing someone. I think I've backed him maybe 3 times this year, and I'm 0-3 in those starts. It seems like he can really he'll give it up early. He'll give it up later, kind of. He has always those 1 or 2 innings a game where it just seems like he can't really get anyone out. Doesn't really seem like himself out there this season. So that's interesting to look at. And you got Kodai Senga on the mound here for the Mets. I mean, this guy's been nothing short of spectacular for this rotation. This guy's been pitching really well. Look at his numbers. I mean, absolutely crazy. And that's why we're seeing the Mets as a big of a favorite, I think, where we're seeing it right now. We've got a first 5. Let's look at the first 5 really quick. A -160 to the Mets, 4.5 total, +140 to the Marlins. And then the full game we are looking at, okay, +155 here for the Marlins in the full game compared to a first 5 +140. That's very interesting. Something's telling us that Sandy might actually be able to outpitch Senga here. That has me a little bit confused here, Spoons. Another total here at 8. Not sure what this opened up at. I'm kind of looking at another under here, but at the same time, I don't know if I can really back a Sandy Alcantara spot. You guys know me, the Marlins, my ROI is positive backing them. Backing Sandy, not positive. Doesn't matter how I do it, whether if it's on an under, it's whatever game he starts. If I'm on that game, it seems like I have the wrong read in that one. Spoons, take it away here. Do you have anything in Mets Marlins?
I took the Mets in this game. I just laid the -1. Another series where the Mets are down to a team kind of out of it in the playoff hunt, and the Mets need to win games. I think the starting pitching in my mind is about a wash at this point. Sandy's been pitching really well the second half of the season. If we go back 7 games now, 7 innings pitched versus San Diego, came out, finally got a gem, and just the first time he pitched really well, followed it up versus St. Louis, another 0 earned run outing. Had a couple hiccups with the Atlanta Braves and the Houston Astros, gave up a combined 11 runs in 2 starts, but since then just 1 earned run, 2 earned runs, and pitching into the 6th or 7th inning in all those games. So it seems like he's starting to get a little bit of a groove under his belt, but I'm looking at the teams that have hit him up. They've had some decent lefties in their lineup and some decent righties on the other side to just make him uncomfortable. The lineups he's been able to pitch well against just kind of stack one side against him. Throughout the season, you've been able to get more power off Sandy with lefties. He's got a 5.2 xFIP to the left-hand side versus a 3.44 for the righties. And the Mets have a really good balance. Lindor and Soto and Nimmo all hit from the left side, but you have guys like Pete Alonso hitting from the right side. I think this Mets team is going to be able to hand Sandy a few runs early, and this Mets bullpen, they got 1 or 2 decent arms back there if they're trying to close the game, but a lot of the middle arms, the bridge to get to that decent closer, are just really subpar options, and they tend to give up a lot of runs. And Senga has not pitched amazing all season, but he's been able to keep his team in a position to win a lot of ball games. I think he's pitching better now than he was in the middle section of the season where he really started to struggle. And here at home, he's still got a 2.82 ERA on the full season. I expect him to come out and pitch pretty well to this Miami team. It's not the same lineup that we've seen all year where they're got a bunch of young bats. They're missing some of their best bats now. Sanchez is on the Houston, and their best bat of the season's done. So I'm on the Miami Met or on the Mets here, -1, -119.
Hey,
I think you can build about the same price right now.
Yeah. I like it. Spoons is locked in here. I'm kind of right there with you. I might end up adding this to my card, actually. I might be on the Mets here with you. I think they're definitely the side here. Shout out to my guy, Chase J. He said, Wine Time, how many additional glasses did you need after watching Nico play last night? Oh, man, I don't need glasses. I got 20/20 vision, but I might need some glasses after watching that. It was more of the defense, if anything, though, just not being able to stop the run more than Nico, if anything. But with that being said here, that might be a team to fade. But as far as this game goes, Mets -1. For our guy Spoons, I think I'm going to add this to my card as well. I'm pretty close to doing it right now, actually. I like it, Spoons. Love the breakdown on it, and I think they should be able to get this win here. So I'm going to write that down. I'm not going to place it quite yet. I'm just going to write it down and make sure that I go back over it before the show here.
The ticket count in that one is a little bit worrisome. You have 83% of the tickets on the New York Mets, but 58% of the cash is over there on Miami. That being said, this line has still moved in favor of the Mets. It's opened at -170 for them. It's back to -170. It's gone up and down both ways. So I think they feel pretty confident in that line.
All right, Spoons is locked in. I might end up adding this play to my card, but we can move on to this next game. Two teams that, I like talking about. Tampa Bay Rays here against the Washington Nationals. You got Brad Lord on the mound against Ian Seymour here for the Tampa Bay Rays. We are currently sitting on the money line for a Tampa Bay Rays team that's a couple games under 500 right now. This team's going to float around there throughout the rest of the season. Probably won't make a playoff spot unless they just go on another one of those big runs, which could happen. But I think they're going to still be able to win ball games the rest of the season. This team isn't going to give up. Still a whole nother month left of baseball. Washington Nationals, on the other hand, +127 with Lord on the mound here. I don't know. Something is a little bit suspicious in this one, Spoons. We've got a total right now at an 8.5, juice to the under at -120. I'm really curious to see if we're going to see 8s in this ball game. Did we ever see 8s? No, it's pretty much been an 8.5. And this line opened up around a -145 for the Tampa Bay Rays, but yet we're seeing a -137 right now. Correct me if I'm wrong on that line movement, Spoons, but I think the line has actually dropped in favor of the Washington Nationals, which is very interesting here, Spoons. Why don't you break that part down for us? Can you break down the market first?
Yeah, so this opened -143 for Tampa Bay, and it's come down to -134. So Washington's down to a +120 on that book. That's with 53% of the tickets on Tampa Bay and 50% of the cash on Washington. So this is a pretty public dog, 47% of the tickets. Some of the books had this up even higher for Tampa Bay at one point. Bookmaker has this a -140 right now as well. So they're both close to back to opening, but a little off. So some discrepancy there. I'd be curious to see where this game goes in the next hour or so. I assume that movement will probably tell us who the likely winner is going to be in this game. 89% of the tickets on the under, 94% of the cash on the under. Some places had a 9 opener, but some opened 8.5. This is down to an 8.5 everywhere. It looks like it could see an 8. So definitely expecting some decent pitching in this game. I think Brad Seymour matches up really well. Ian Seymour matches up very well in this game. He's been elite at getting lefties out. He just pitched a gem versus the Cleveland Guardians. I think that team's built similarly to the Nationals, where there's a couple lefty bats you have to worry about, and then besides that, it's mostly AAA guys. I think he goes out there for 5 or 6 innings and pitches really well. Brad Lord, don't really know what you're going to get with this guy every time he's out there on the mound. He doesn't have anything special with his stuff. Throws a 94-mile-an-hour fastball 50% of the time. Has a little bit of a slider and a sinker to go with it, but a lot of the stuff's pretty straight. His last 2 games out there, he's given up a bunch of runs to the New York Mets and the New York Yankees. I think this Rays team really needs to stack some wins here if they want to continue to have a playoff push. This is a spot where I laid it with the Rays. I paid -138 on the money line. Their bullpen is in a good spot. They have everybody fresh to come in and close this game out. Fairbanks, Clevenger both had the night off yesterday. Griffin Jacks only worked 1 night in the last 4. So I expect all the big arms I want ready to come out and close this game ready as well. I think -138 is a decent price. Some of the domestics have this still at almost -150.
All right, Spoons is in here on my Tampa Bay Rays. They've taken the first 2 games of this series, going for the sweep here in Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. I'm going to end up staying away from this one, but I apologize that I'm not even seeing 8.5s anymore. I'm seeing 8s at all my book right now at -110, which is really interesting right now for the Tampa Bay Rays and Nationals game. This game has moved down. I'm going to guess that we're going to get a not so offensive friendly day here at the ballpark. So I'm going to end up passing on this game, guys. I might have a lean towards the under, if anything, but our guy Spoons is on the Rays. He got a good line at -138. I mean, I like it. The Rays, it's definitely a more meaningful game than the Washington Nationals. So, but shout out to everyone in the chat. Chris Warren, Sports Scientist Jacob, the Sporting's Groovy and Din right there. Alien, I don't know what I'm saying. Steve, Chris Warren, Wager Detective, Justin McKelvey said Brandon Lowe over 1.5 bases plus 123 in my pocket. Shout out to our guy Stacks right there, my guy. Good to see you. Mo Harris, Coin, Irish King. Apologize, I haven't been giving you guys shout outs. Our guy Talk Sports with JT right there. Comes back right when football's around. So shout out to our guy JT. Guys, hit the like button. We're low on likes today, guys. We've got over 150 people in the building. Let's get to 100 likes before we get into this next set of game, guys. Don't be afraid to get a membership over here at Pub Sports Radio. And we're locking these in, man. Spoon's got a lot of plays already today. So this is exciting. This is an exciting day here. And we're only 6 games in. Still got, 9 more to go. So let's move on to our next game here. We've got the Seattle Mariners against the Cleveland Guardians. Bryce Miller on the mound here for the Seattle Mariners. And then we've got Tyler Bybee on the mound for the Cleveland Guardians. This line's pretty much even right now. We're seeing -105s going both ways right here with a total of 8.5. -115 to the under. 2 teams right here that are fighting to get into the playoffs. The Guardians. I remember talking about them in the beginning of August, just thinking like if this isn't a team I think that should be in the playoffs, but they can definitely. They're the team that's kind of built for this. They've got a good manager over there. They're doing everything the right way to try to just sneak into there, be one of those last teams in the wild card spot. We'll see if they can end up getting there. The Mariners, on the other hand, still trying to go for that division over there in the AL West if they can do it. But I don't think they've got enough time. I don't know if they're going to be able to catch the Astros here, which we're going to talk about here shortly. As far as this game goes, though, I don't know. I lean towards the Guardians here. Being at home, I like the Guardians here. Seeing the total pretty much stayed. Oh, I think this actually opened up at a 7.5, if I'm not mistaken. We're at an 8.5 right now. I might have opened up at an 8. Spoons is going to have to go over the market for us in that one. But I have a lean towards the Guardians and Tyler Bybee here on the mound here for the Guardians at home against the Mariners coming into town. What's this series been so far? I mean, the Guardians are going for the sweep right here. You guys know me. I'm not high on this Mariners team by any means. They do know how to win ball games. They made a lot of good trades at the deadline. Don't get me wrong. They've got a good rotation, and it seems like they play some really meaningful ball as it gets later into the games, but mostly at home, not necessarily on the road here. Spoons, take it away. I'm close to moving on the Guardians. What are you on in this game?
I'm on Seattle in this one.
Oh, wow.
I bet it last night at -112. The best domestic number is still -110. Offshore, you can get like -105. I think I see being the best number for Seattle right now. I think this is a little bit of a pitching mismatch. Progressive Field's going to be pitcher friendly today. -22% home runs, -4% runs overall. Just look at these lineups up and down, and we only see Jose Ramirez sitting in the center of this Cleveland lineup that really worries me. We get to the bottom of this, and there's a lot of guys I don't even really know except seeing them swing the bat a few times for this Cleveland Guardians team. And then we look at Seattle, and it's just big star after big star. A lot of guys that can hit the baseball well: Rosarena, Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, Josh Naylor, Gino Suarez, Jorge Polanco. The rookie Canzone is back, J.P. Crawford, Cole Young. So there's no holes in the Seattle lineup. I think the big X factor here in this game is how well can Bryce Miller pitch. He's been dealing with some elbow stuff, had to rehab in the minors after having a terrible start to the year. His speed and everything is back. He hasn't had 2 great starts since coming back. They kind of rushed him, took away one of his rehab starts and started him against Philadelphia in the bank. Went 5 innings pitched, gave up 4 earned runs. It's not a terrible start in my opinion. And then he had to see San Diego, basically a repeat of that last game, 5 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. But those Philadelphia and San Diego lineups are much more potent than this Cleveland lineup. I think the pitcher friendly weather here in Cleveland's going to kind of aid Bryce Miller. sometimes it's hard to look at a guy that's got a terrible ERA on the season, which is sitting at 5.98. On the road, it's even worse, 6.52, and expect him to have a good start. But I think he's finally getting healthier, as healthy as he's going to be this season. And if he's ever going to pitch well, it's going to be against a team like this Cleveland lineup where he can just kind of get comfortable versus that left-hand side and pitch well to him. Tanner Bybee on the other side, this guy's just woken up, rolled out of bed, and given up 4 earned runs to just about every team he's seen, from Tampa Bay to Arizona to the White Sox to Minnesota, Houston, the Cubs. Everybody that's seen him has gotten to him recently, and I don't think the Seattle lineup is going to have issues getting to him either. I look at the back end of this bullpen. Cleveland's missing their best arm in Class A. He's done for this season. And they threw out Cade Smith and Hunter Gaddis last night. So all those Seattle bats get to see the same 2 best pitchers again tonight if somehow Bybee gets them in a position to win. And it seems like the second half of the season, Cleveland's really had an issue closing out games. So even if this comes down to a tight one, I feel like I have the advantage with Seattle's bullpen right now. Munoz and Brash had the night off. Gabe Spires worked one of the last 3 nights. So all the arms that I want back there are ready. Basically a pick 'em everywhere. I like Seattle.
All right. Spoons is in on Seattle. Something interesting. I just looked at the first 5. The Guardians are actually 15 cents more expensive in the first 5. That was actually a little bit shocking. Because I didn't know if they had the pitching advantage in this one. I just kind of trusted them being at home here, and it seems like a must-win game. I know they're going for the sweep here, but the Guardians need to win every game possible. So I'm going to end up staying off this game. Want nothing to do with it. I think I am going to move on this next game, though, that we got here coming up here, and that is going to be Houston and the Anaheim Angels. Jose Soriano, my guy. I love Soriano out there for the Angels against Hunter Brown. It's kind of crazy to see Hunter Brown's numbers to where they are at now compared to what they were in the beginning of the season. We thought this guy was the best pitcher in the American League. We thought he was going to win maybe a Cy Young. At least I did when I saw him pitch early on. I thought him and Skubal were right there. A little bit different now, and seeing this line move towards the Angels in kind of a decent way here. The more I'm looking at this, I didn't see what the opening was on my book last night. From what I'm seeing, you probably could have gotten them around a plus 155, and now they're a plus 146. Houston Astros, 14 games over 500, a team that's trying to run away with it here in the AL West. Angels out of the playoff contention at this point in the season. Not 100%, but I mean, it's not going to happen. But this team still wants to win. They won their 63rd game yesterday. That's how many games they won last year. I like that. There's been a lot of change with this Angels organization with a lot of young guys coming up, and you can just tell they're building something over there. Not quite their year this year, probably a couple years away still, but this team is going to fight until the end, I think, because they still have a lot of good young bats in this team. And this is an AL West rival. I know Neto's going to be up for it. You know him and Brown are, I kind of called Neto Skubal's papa. He might be Hunter Brown's papa after this. We'll see if he takes him deep first at bat. I could definitely see it. That's just the way Neto is. Neto's sweet. Every time he leads off a game, he swings first pitch. It's absolutely crazy because he knows that's going to be the best pitch he probably sees all ball game because it's going to be right there in the zone. So be on the lookout for that. I want to move on the Angels, plus 145 here. I think this is a ton of value here with a team that, I mean, pitching-wise, Hunter Brown is better than Soriano. I wouldn't say probably by too much, though. Batting order-wise, Astros have the advantage, but I don't know. This seems like an Angel spot for me, and seeing this total at 7.5 minus 15 to the under kind of makes me lean towards the under as well. Maybe even a team total rather than the Angels. Maybe a team total for the Astros under here. We're seeing 4.5, but it's minus 140 to the under. I don't think they're going to be able to get 4 off Soriano here. Spoons, take it away. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. Let us know the market, weather, and this pitching matchup, because this is a really good pitching matchup. I know you like both these guys.
I do like both these guys, and Houston's kind of in a situation with their bullpen. Abreu's on 3 of 4 nights through 28 last night, got the L. Okert's on 2 of 3 nights through 15 last night. Brian King is on 3 of 4. He threw 10 pitches last night. Those are their 3 best arms. They have Craig Kimbrell back there as well. He's thrown on back-to-back nights, and Caleb Ort is 2 out of the last 3. So all of their important arms have worked, and the Angels have seen them. So if you're going to throw one of those arms out for an overworked session, it's going to be against a team that's already got repetition off him in the last few nights. I think that kind of leans to the Angels. Soriano, we go back 10 starts now, this is a guy I just think of as being a boom or bust kind of pitcher. He's either going to go out there, give you 6 or 7 of 0 earned ball, or he's going to give up 4 or 5 runs. And he gave up 5 runs to the Athletics in that little ballpark over there in Sacramento. That's not a terrible start. Pitched into the 6th inning. That ballpark's gotten to a lot of guys. Tampa Bay gave up 7 earned runs to that team, and Texas he gave up 5 earned run to. But I think he could probably pitch well versus this Astros team. The bullpen situation would keep me off the Astros altogether because you're asking Hunter Brown to go out there and absolutely deal. The second half of the season, he hasn't necessarily looked like the same guy. If I was betting the Angels, I'd want a couple other lefty bats in that lineup. Like I'm sure you would all season. That park is built for left-handed hitting power, and they have one lefty in their lineup. But I think they could tag Hunter Brown. My only bet could be on the Angels. I'm off it from an X's and O's standpoint. It seems like it sets up as an Angels spot, though. The books are respecting that this opened up minus 173 Houston and is down to minus 162. So 11 cents of movement there. 50% of the tickets on the over, 70% of the cash on the over. It's opened up 7.5. It's still sitting there. 68% of the tickets on Houston, but 52% of the cash on LA. And the books, as I said, are respecting that cash by moving the line a little bit. I'm tempted to hop on LA with you, but versus right-handed pitching, they really haven't been getting to anybody. The last time they got more than 2 earned runs off a guy, it was Hunter Green on the 19th. It's just tough. The Houston bullpen is pretty worked, so maybe they get Hunter Brown out of there and get their runs then, but I just can't pull the trigger.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I would like to move on the Angels plus 1.5. It's just too expensive. Almost a 90 cents difference between the run line for the Angels and the money line, which is very interesting. I think that tells you everything we need to know. This is probably going to be a 1-run ball game. They don't want you on that plus 1.5, which is why it's juiced to almost a minus 160 right now when their money line's like a plus 150. That's absolutely crazy to me. With that being said, I mean, look at the Royals here being plus 150 and they're minus 125 on the plus 1.5. You know, it just – I think the books are kind of telling us this is going to be a 1-run ball game. Maybe the Astros pull this out late. I'm not going to move on it quite yet, guys. I'm going to wait until after the show. Haven't made the play yet, but this is something I have question marks next to for the Angels. Money line plus 146, best number I can find available right now. Currently sitting. Going to be a pass for my guy Spoons, though. Pass for me as of right now. So we can move right on to this next game here. We've got Tariq Skubal. Detroit Tigers here against Michael Waka for the Kansas City Royals here. This is an interesting line here, too. I mean, Tigers nearly a minus 170 favorite. This line's a little bit confusing to me, Spoons. Michael Waka has been serviceable at times this season in the Royals. I mean, I don't know how this Royals team is in a playoff contention, maybe because they're in the AL Central and they get to play those teams a little bit more often than other teams. But I don't know. I don't know how the Royals are currently sitting almost 4 games over 3 or 4 games over 500 right now. This is a difficult game for me. I want nothing to do with this because I think Skubal can go out there and absolutely deal. Seeing this total, though, at 7.5, I will mention minus 125. We might see some 7s here very shortly with these 2 pitchers on the mound and these 2 offenses out there. Only really a 9-game difference between these 2 teams in the standings. Kind of crazy. Spoons, take it away. Detroit Tigers, Kansas City Royals. Do you think the Royals are going to be able to make the playoffs this year, by the way? Do you think them or the Guardians will be able to get a spot?
So I think the Guardians are going to kind of fall apart here in this second half of the season. I think Kansas City has a legitimate shot. They have the lineup, the pieces to do it if they all come together and swing the bat right. And they also have the pitching. If one team's going to make a run here, Kansas City has the potential to do it, but Detroit's a tough team to have to do it against. Obviously, they're leading that division right now. They'd probably rather not see Kansas City make the playoffs. They've been playing pretty good baseball here of late. Kauffman Stadium's modeled at minus 4% runs, minus 30% home runs today. With Tariq Skubal on the mound, I think that makes it a really tough assignment for Kansas City to get runs. And Michael Waka's only given up more than 2 earned runs 1 time in his last 8 starts. That was against the Detroit Tigers on the 23rd in his last start. He's had a little bit of a delayed time off here. He hit the paternity list, just had a child. So one of those spots, a lot of times you see it, they come out and play really well. Hitters hit home runs. Pitchers have really nice games. I could see that being one of those cases, but Waka struggles with lefties, and the Tigers lineup is just full of them. They just got 8 hits off Waka in that last game. Seeing him again now, 8 days later, I think this is probably a spot where they can get runs again. I can't get there with Kansas City versus Skubal. He has looked human recently. He's given up some earned runs, a lot of hits to teams that I wouldn't have necessarily expected to get to him. Minnesota got 3 off him. The Angels got 4 off him. Philadelphia got 3 off him. Seattle got 4. The rest of his starts over the last 10s or 0s and 1s, but that Athletics game, it only shows up with 1 earned run. He ended up giving up a grand slam, all unearned run statistics, but so that was really a 5 earned run start. I could see Kansas City getting to him, but I don't really want to only get this small of a price to fade Skubal at this point. I just don't know how Kansas City manufactures runs with the wind blowing in and not really going to be able to get anything off the home run ball. Both these bullpens are in a decent spot, so I don't think that'll come into play too much. 64% of the tickets and 64% of the cash are on Detroit. This line has come down some. It opened minus 175. I'm seeing minus 162 now. And then 58% of the tickets on the under, 60% of the cash on the over. Opened at a 7.5. And like you said, 7s are starting to pop up.
Yeah, this is an interesting one here. Seeing this line move towards the Royals. I mean, maybe a Royals plus 1.5 on the run line, minus 125 doesn't sound like a horrible bet for me. Getting a 1 run in my back pocket in what I think is going to be a low scoring game, which is why we're seeing some 7s pop up here on the board. It's going to be an interesting one, Spoons. I have a lean. I might end up moving on the Royals plus 1.5. I'm going to write that one down as well and go over it before we get out of here. Plus 125 or minus 125 on the plus 1.5. Put some question marks next to it. But we can move on to this next game here. Anything else you want to say on this game, Spoons, before we touch New York, Chicago?
Nope.
All right, let's move right on then, guys. We've got the New York Yankees, Luis Hill on the mound here against Chicago White Sox and Martin Perez. Currently on the money line, we are sitting with the Yankees as the obvious favorites. Minus 170, minus 175 between these two different books I'm looking at right now. Minus 1.5. A little bit juicy, minus 120. White Sox currently sitting at plus 155 to plus 160, depending on where you're looking right now. Martin Perez got a total of 8.5, juice to the over at minus 120. We might see some runs here on the board here. I think the Yankees could probably absolutely smash Martin Perez here in this spot. We're seeing their team total at 4.5, juice to the over at minus 140 as well. This is an interesting one here. I think the Yankees are probably live to win this game by margin here. Spoons, what do you have to say about this one?
This was a little bit difficult for me. Luis Hill, since he's come back, has not really looked that sharp. First start back was on the 3rd of August. Had 4 walks. His next game out, he only had 1, but he's followed that up with 12 walks in his last 3 games combined, 4, 5, and 3. He just doesn't have a ton of control out there. He's going up and giving out hits as well. At least 4 hits, if not 5 or 6 in every single game. And it's against teams like Miami, St. Louis, Washington, that are really kind of bottom of the barrel teams. So he's been able to keep them all under 2 earned runs besides Miami in his first start where he gave up 5. He's been able to keep them all down, but I think this White Sox team could get to him. They've put some crooked numbers up on the board against a lot of righties recently. They got 7 off Strider, 8 off Elder, 4 off Zebby Matthews, 6 off Abel, 7 off Taj Bradley, 4 off Michael Lorenzen. I think this is a team that's swinging the bat better than they really have all season. They've been dealing with injuries, though. Kind of bothers me. Luis Robert won't be in the lineup. I think Vargas is still injured right now. And like you said, this Yankees lineup versus lefties, they've been killing lefties all season, first in baseball. On the road, they're the number 1 team in baseball as well. And Martin Perez is coming off 2 games where he hasn't given up an earned run in a combined 12 1/3 innings pitched. 0 walks, 4 hits. He looks really dialed in out there, but regression comes for everybody. It seems like that's probably a start where Martin Perez isn't this good of a pitcher, and the Yankees hand him that regression. I was looking at this over. It opened 9, juice to the under, minus 115. It's come down. It's now juice to the under, minus 120. You might even be able to find a juiced 8.5 out there around minus 120. Something I'd be interested in. Both of these bullpens have worked a lot recently. The New York Yankees threw Bednar out there for 22 pitches last night. He really had to labor for it. Weaver's on 2 of 3 nights. Devin Williams is on 2 of 3 nights. Camilo Doval is on back-to-back nights. So these White Sox bats have seen him here recently as well. And then on the White Sox side, all their important arms have now gone on back-to-back nights as well. So I like that over. I haven't actually gotten there yet. I wouldn't be surprised to see this come down to an 8.5, the way everything's juiced to an under 9. But I can't trust Luis Gil at this point, and Martin Perez just gives me zero trust vibes, even though he's coming off 2 really elite starts for Kansas City and Atlanta.
This is interesting. Coin, shout out to my guy Coin in the chat. Didn't even look at this. I mean, yeah, nearly a 38 cents difference between the first 5 on the Yankees and the full game. Those spoons right now, Yankees first 5 money line minus 145 compared to the minus 173 that I'm looking at the same book. That's interesting right there, man. That's crazy. Maybe this White Sox bullpen gives it up after Martin Perez comes out or something, because that definitely seems a little bit sus right there. Don't like seeing that. So I won't move on the Yankees here, not at this price. And you guys know me, I don't lay run lines. I've maybe done that like 3 times this season, laid a minus 1.5. So I won't do that here. It's going to keep me off spoons. You want anything in this game?
Do we really expect Martin Perez to come out here and pitch another good game? 40 cents off. That's wild.
I know. It's that quite like the X's and O's, no, but the market is just like, that's crazy. I did not expect to see that. I expected maybe the Yankees minus 165 first 5, but like that's a huge difference. 28 cents, 30 cents, depending on where you're looking right now. Very interesting. That's going to make this game a little bit more fun to watch, knowing that. It's going to be
shopping right now. I see it at 8.5 minus 115 available on Bet365. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and bet
that number. I have that same number for you too. Yeah. Okay. Well, Spoons is going to move on this over then. 8.5. I'm getting 8.5 minus 115 right now. So yeah, you can definitely get that number. We can move on to this next game. Spoons is locked in though. Is this an added play for you?
Yep. I'm putting in the bet right now.
There we go. Take your time. An added play from our guy Spoons Bets. He's going to move on the over 8.5 minus 115. We can move on to this next game. Talk about a team that's near and dear to my guy Spoons' heart here in the Chicago Cubs, and Matthew Boyd here on the mound for them against the Colorado Rockies and Tanner Gordon. I mean, Cubs minus 230 is the current line. We're sitting at a minus 1.5 to minus 170 on the run line. We've got a total here at 11. Cubs team total is 6.5 at minus 110 to the over. I think that this Cubs team could absolutely probably smash Tanner Gordon here in this spot. And this game probably goes way over the mark because maybe Boyd might be a little bit vulnerable here at Coors as well. Seeing this total here at 11, maybe the Rockies can get to Boyd a little bit at some point in this game. I'm actually kind of looking at this over 11 the more I look at it here. Either that or the team total for the Cubs. I mean, they're kind of telling us the Cubs are going to score 7 runs in this ball game. Very interesting. Spoons, take it away, my guy.
Yeah, Ballpark Pal has this modeled as the most offensive-friendly park on the board. It's not really a surprise, but it's at plus 32% runs, plus 19% home runs, and plus 37% doubles and triples. So they really think it's going to be pretty offensive-friendly. As far as the actual weather goes in this game, it's going to be sitting between 78 and 81 during the ball game, winds blowing in from right field, almost 7 miles an hour consistently throughout the game. This is a spot where I think both of these pitchers can come out here and have a decent game. Matthew Boyd struggled a little bit lately, giving up 9 earned runs between San Francisco and Milwaukee in his last 2 outings. But before that, this guy's been a pinnacle of consistency on the mound. 3.44 ERA on the road all season, 2.82 ERA overall on the season. And these Rockies aren't really getting to left-handed starters. Even with hitting in a park like Coors, they're the team that's dead last in baseball versus lefties on the season. Last 2 weeks, they're 22nd in baseball in WRC+. So I think Matthew Boyd can pitch decent. It's Coors Field, so it's always a little bit hard, but this guy throws 70% four-seam changeup mix, and those 2 pitches are affected the least when you come to Coors. So I think he can find a way to pitch pretty well. And Tanner Gordon's been a guy that I've struggled trying to figure out exactly what he's going to do. But his last few games out there, he's given up just one earned run to the Houston lineup, one earned run to the Dodgers. That Dodgers start was in Coors Field, pitched 6 innings in both of those. Just 4 hits to a Dodgers team. I kind of equate the Dodgers and the Cubs lineups similarly right now. They're both really underperforming. You look at the names and you're like, that guy's in Coors. He's going to have a great day today. And, the Cubs exploded for a few runs the other night, but struggled to get some last night. I ended up getting my first 5 with them, but it was a sweat even to get 2 runs in the first 5 innings. I think Tanner Gordon, a guy that's shown the ability to pitch really well at Coors all year, shut out St. Louis, just 1 earned to the Dodgers, 2 earned to the New York Yankees lineup. He knows how to pitch here in Coors. He's had a couple blowups, but everybody does. I took the under 11.5 -120 last night. I think both of these pitchers can pitch well. I don't love the Rockies bullpen, but I've watched quite a few Rockies games, and there's a bunch of young guys that are coming out there to the bullpen and got some really good stuff. They got a good AAA bullpen coach. I think this is a spot where we don't see 10 runs scored in this ball game. It's modeled very offensively, so you have to take that into consideration. But I also wonder if everybody's going to be in the lineup for the Chicago Cubs. Travel day coming up, so we may have that in our favor as well. I think you can only get 11s at this point. You can pay a little juice for the 11.5, maybe -130 at this point. But I like that half run in my pocket. That's why I paid the extra 10 cents for it last night.
All right, locked in. We can move on to this next ball game. This right here, Spoons. I'm really excited for this one here. Oh wait, it's in 2 games from now that I'll be excited for. But we can move on to this next game. Baltimore Orioles against the San Francisco Giants. Justin Verlander, 2-10 record this season for the San Francisco Giants. Team, in my estimation, is probably out of the playoff contention as of right now. I don't see this team making a run. You got the Baltimore Orioles. They've been playing better baseball the second half of the season. There's no denying that. This team was one of the worst teams in baseball to start the year. Got healthy, made a couple of trades, and, they've been playing better. I think they're going to be a team that we could probably bet on next year, and which is probably why we've seen them priced at reasonable prices this season. I don't have a play in this game, guys. You guys know me. I'm not going to back Verlander here. Could I maybe back an under here with both these pitchers on the mound? But at the same time, I feel like this should maybe be an 8. So I don't know. This is a tricky one, Spoons. Take it away.
Yeah. Market in this game is a little bit concerning. 58% of the tickets on Baltimore, 83% of the cash on Baltimore. This opened as San Francisco a -128 favorite, and it is now sitting at -136 San Francisco. So they don't seem to be really concerned with that Baltimore money. It looks like some of that money has come in of late, though, so I'm not sure it's fully adjusted in the market. Some of the sharper books that move more frequently have this a little closer. So I'm on Baltimore Orioles +120 here. Just not a big Justin Verlander guy. I think every time he goes out there, he's liable to give up some runs. At home recently, he's got a 4.4 ERA on the full season, and that's in one of the most pitcher-friendly ballparks. Just gave up 2 earned runs to the Cubs. Versus Washington, he gave up 5 earned runs in just 5 innings pitched. I think this Baltimore lineup, missing some guys from earlier on in this season, is really starting to swing the bats pretty well. I think they can get to Justin Verlander, and I'm not a big fan of the Giants bullpen at this spot. And I think Sagano would be a guy that would be a great addition for the Giants later in his career. He puts the ball in the air quite a bit, relies on weak contact to get outs, and the swirling winds here in San Francisco really would aid a guy like Sagano. He's pitched a lot better the second half of the season. Last 4 starts, last 6 starts, Colorado just 1 earned run, gave up 3 to the Cubs, but pitched in the 7th versus the Athletics, just 1 earned run. 6th in the Seattle game, just 1 earned run, blanked Boston. Then saw him again 5 days later and ended up giving up 4 earned runs, but it was just on 6 hits, so they made him pay for a couple walks. I think it's always hard to see a team twice, and now he gets to leave a hitter-friendly park in Baltimore, go to a pitcher-friendly spot in Oracle. I think this is just a spot where Sagano comes out and deals versus a San Francisco Giants lineup that's just really been reeling. Since that Devers trade, that team is dead last in baseball in wins. It's got to be deflating as a Giants fan. Baltimore's not a great team, but the Giants have kind of been playing over their head for the last week or so. I expect Baltimore to hand them another loss tomorrow. They easily got it yesterday with Trevor Rogers on the mound, continues to go out there, put 7 innings pitched, just 1 earned run up there on the board. It was the easiest first 5 cash I can remember in recent history. And so all the bullpen arms for Baltimore had the night off because of it. I think plus money with this team is a great deal, but apparently a lot of people do too. So a little bit of caution there, I guess.
Yeah, that is interesting. It's still so crazy when I pull up Justin Verlander. The guy's 42 years old. It's crazy, man. Still pitching in the big leagues, man. Yeah, I would only move on
Fountain of Youth every night.
Yeah, facts. I would only move on the Orioles here with you. I agree with you on Sugano. I just think I feel like the Orioles, this maybe shouldn't be the Giants' favorite. I know they're at home. I don't know. This it's a little bit fishy for me. Nothing for me in this one. This next game, though, guys, I just added it before we even talked about it. Let's move on to this next game. We've got Texas against the Sacramento Athletics here. Jacob deGrom, the mighty Jacob deGrom, opens up at, a minus 170. Last night, it's dropped tremendously. I wish I would have got in at this a better number, but at the same time, I probably wouldn't have moved on it at a better number. So Rangers are currently sitting at minus 140 on the money line. Athletics plus 130. You guys know where I'm going with this. I'm backing my guy JT Ginn here against Jacob deGrom at home. Avoid the sweep here. Why the Rangers only? I mean, I know the Rangers are kind of falling apart as well, but I mean, not even so. They're still a couple games over 500. They're going to fight until the end for sure. And Jacob deGrom, everyone knows him. I feel like everyone is going to be betting on him today as well. So I'm going to be very interested to hear you talk about the market in this one. But I think JT Ginn can go out there and pitch well against this lineup in Texas. And we're seeing a total at 9.5 for a lot of the games in athletics are usually 10 and a half, but it's usually with less, with more vulnerable pitchers on the mound. Jacob deGrom's not a vulnerable pitcher, but he has been at times this season. I just think this is a really good price. This is the price where I like to get the Athletics. Athletics have been playing some really good baseball the second half of the season too, man. Going to be crazy. It's going to be interesting to see where they end up in the season. If them or the Angels have a better record, probably the Athletics will. Athletics money line plus 130 for me. And I'm going to play the plus 1.5 minus 130 right now. I'm going to play both of them. This is going to be a 2-unit play for me, guys. I'm going to double up on this spot on the money line and on the plus 1.5. I think that they can easily cover this game on that 1-run line. And if it comes down to 1 run, I'll take that 1 run in my back pocket and push on this. So I'm going to move on the Athletics plus 130 and the Athletics plus 1.5 minus 130 spoons. Take it away. Let me know what you think on this one, the market and the weather.
Yeah, I was staring this game down last night. I could have got 138 on the Athletics, and I was really kind of scratching my head on it. It seems like there's no way the Rangers should be favored this much at this point. Real quick on the market there. So this opened up with Texas as, that's not loading now. I believe it was around minus 170 favorites. Then it quickly came down to like minus 165, and it's all the way down to minus 141. I'm not seeing a minus 170. The minus 160s was the earliest. The Athletics, though, I think if we look at these lineups right now, they have the better lineup, top to bottom. Okay. We're talking a Texas lineup that doesn't have Corey Seager. They don't have Marcus Semien. So 2 huge lefty bats that they're used to having. So JT Ginn, a guy that struggles more with lefties, only has to worry about Josh Smith, Jock Peterson, Rowdy Tellez. Yonaheim might hit from the left-hand side. Jock Peterson and Tellez, 2 of the most unathletic guys in baseball at this point in the season. This Texas lineup just doesn't offer me a lot of confidence. And the Athletics top to bottom, yes, they're missing Nick Kurtz as well, but Butler, Langoliers, Rooker, Soderstrom, Jacob Wilson, having an amazing rookie season. These guys, I think they're better bats. Jacob deGrom certainly is the better pitcher between Ginn and deGrom, but deGrom's look like you can touch him here. Gave up 3 earned runs to the Angels in July, 5 earned runs to the Angels the second time he saw him in July, 5 earned runs to Seattle, 3 earned runs to Philadelphia. His last time out seeing the Angels again, another 2 earned runs. He's seen this Athletics team now 3 or 4 times on the season. They've gotten to him in 2 of those games. Last time he saw him was at home, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run. But I think this time Jacob deGrom's pitching in a field that's going to make him very uncomfortable. I don't see any reason not to back the Athletics here. I'm looking at that plus 1.5 at minus 125. Their bullpen, while it's fresh, doesn't give me a ton of faith. I could see them losing this game late. At the same time, I think still plus 127 is a decent price on them. Kind of going back and forth. I'm going to add this game. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it on the run line or the money line. I'm not going to double up. I'm just going to pick one. I'll say it right at the end of the show.
All right, Spoons is going to take another look at this as we break down the next game, guys. I'm locked in plus 1.5 minus 130 and the money line plus 130. I don't think I've ever done this one time this season, doubled up on a game on a run line and a money line. So I probably could just take a +1. And you know what? Maybe I do that. I mean,
you can build it. Just put part of your bet same way you do the -1.
Yeah, I might end up just doing that here before the show. But we can move on to this next game here. Let me pull this up here. We only got 2 games left, 1 game left, and then we bring on our special guest at the end of the show. Let's talk Arizona Diamondbacks, LA Dodgers here. They go Brandon Fife on the mound here. He's been pitching well, very serviceable for this Arizona Diamondbacks team against Yamamoto from the LA Dodgers. 2 teams here, guys, that don't really like each other a whole lot. The Diamondbacks playing some better baseball, playing some inspiring baseball in the later parts of August, going forward into September now. I'm trying to get over that 500 mark. This team is still fighting, and I'd love to see it. I thought this team was too talented not to make the playoffs going into this year. Rotation had a lot of blowups this year, for sure, to say the least. But this team is still fighting. And what better way to beat your rival, the Dodgers here, and Yamamoto on the mound here. What time is this game at? 1:10 p.m. out here, so 4:10 Eastern Standard Time. We're seeing Brandon Pfaadt priced. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's because of Yamamoto or what, but I mean, Yamamoto's a -215 right now. Diamondbacks money line plus 190. The Diamondbacks on the run line -1.5. Another nearly 100 cents difference right there between the run line and the money line. Spoons. This is a difficult game for me. I would maybe move on an under here in this spot, but at the same time, why are we seeing 9s? I feel like this should be an 8.5, not a 9. So maybe there's going to be some runs scored in this ball game. Take it over, my friend.
Yeah, there were 8.5s last night. Depending where you looked, you could have gotten a 115 close to open. The book I like to track had it at a 115. They quickly moved it to 130, juiced it, and let it sit there for a while, then moved it to 9, where it's set the entire time. 9 -105 over, -115 under. I hopped in on that 8.5 -120. It was a little bit closer behind. I don't see any reason that we don't get runs in this game. I see you saying, why is it a 9? And I think it's because they're implying there's going to be runs. Yamamoto at home has not really been the same pitcher he has on the road. 2.9 ERA overall on the season, but a 3.6 ERA at home. In the past years, we thought of this as being pretty pitcher-friendly park, but the numbers show us that it's not. I just look at him at home. He's given up runs to teams like Minnesota. He's coming off 5 straight road starts, so he's not necessarily comfortable pitching at home either. Like when you do like to back a guy at home, it's after a couple consecutive home starts, and I just think the Diamondbacks find a way to get runs off him. They got 7 runs off this Dodgers team yesterday, or 6 runs off this Dodgers team yesterday. And on the opposite side, Brandon Pfaadt. I mean, we remember this guy in the playoffs having a really good game, but what has he done this season? He's gone out there and just looked really poorly. 5.24 ERA in the full season. On the road, it's a 7.1 ERA. His last 3 road starts, 11.5 ERA. Milwaukee got 6 off him. He didn't get out of the 3rd inning. Colorado got 4 off him. Detroit got 7 off him. The last time he pitched well on the road was the 9th of July. Went 8 innings versus the Padres lineup. Only gave up 2 earned runs, but dead clocks right twice a day. I think the Dodgers, who only got 1 run yesterday, find a way to get some runs tomorrow off a guy like Brandon Pfaadt, or today off Brandon Pfaadt. There's no way in my mind where I can paint Brandon Pfaadt coming out here throwing 7 innings of 1 or 2 run baseball. And that's what it would take for the Dodgers to not score runs tomorrow. Because once this bullpen comes in for the Diamondbacks, I mean, the gate's open for runs. Everybody's able to score runs off him. I think this is a spot where you get 3 innings of that Diamondbacks bullpen minimum. They saw that yesterday. We're only able to get 1 run off them, but I think there's too many bad arms out there for the Dodgers not to find runs. 8.5 over -120 for me. mostly 9s across the board. I see it juiced to that under 115. 67% of the tickets on the under, 73% of the cash on the under. This line's moved up, and 87% of the tickets on the LA Dodgers, 95% of the cash on the Dodgers, and really no respect to them. Open 207, it's at 215 now. Maybe it's just because it's such a huge line overall, but Jose made these graphics last night. There was a 220 on the board where he was pulling his numbers from. So I don't think this is necessarily a Diamondback spot, but I think the books are showing very little respect to the Dodgers here.
Yeah, I think for a reason too. And I think I might join you. I can only find 9s, unfortunately, right now across the board, but this is going to be something I look at after the show. I might move on this over 9. I can get a -105, best number available right now for me. Can't find those 8.5s anymore, but I like where you're going with this on the over. I think the books are telling us that both these pitchers are vulnerable here at Dodger Stadium. So I'm right there with you, my guy. We aligned on that one. I'm going to look back over this game after the show. Let's get on to our next game here. And before we talk this next game, guys, we're going to bring on a very special guest. This guy's been with us since the beginning, rocking with us. You saw him come out here yesterday and give out some college football plays as well. Guy's been rocking and rolling over there, and he's hungry to get at this Sunday night baseball game. So without further ado, by way of Macedonia, now making his home in Toronto, Canada, our guy, Gorky on Sports, to the show. Gorky, good to see you, my guy. Happy Sunday.
I hope you guys didn't tell me anybody in the chat this week in college football has been a complete mess.
Ugh.
What about that Clemson showing yesterday, only scoring like 1 touchdown? Jesus.
No excuse for that. Yeah, some of those games yesterday I was watching, and they didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Even your Bruins look bad, bro. Like terrible.
Oh, not bad, Gorky. They looked horrid. Like they looked like a team that probably belongs in the Mountain West. They couldn't stop the run.
They wouldn't beat the Rams up there in the Mountain West right now. Colorado State would run circles around them.
I honestly wouldn't doubt it at this point. They get to play UNLV on the road next week in Vegas at Allegiant, so that's going to be interesting to see. The lines already came out, I'm assuming. I haven't looked at any of the lines next week yet.
I'm taking UNLV plus all the points.
Oh yeah. If we're getting, I'm assuming we're going to get over 10, maybe even 14, because UNLV hasn't been playing well either. So I will definitely probably take those points, Gorky. But shout out to you, my guy. There's my guy, Moose Money in there. Virginia Tech, South Carolina over, and like Harbor props, but only on the total. I'm on the Virginia Tech Hokies, guys, but that's college football. We'll talk about that a little bit at the end.
For what it's, let's talk about college football in the end. I'm on this baseball right now.
Yeah.
So let's go with that. Lead into this game, brother.
Yeah, we've got the Atlanta Braves here going up. This is going to be Sunday night baseball. The Atlanta Braves going against the Philadelphia Phillies here. Man, this is a good rivalry here. I know if you're into Philly sports, you do not like the Atlanta Braves. I know that because I have friends that are in Philly sports from Philly. Absolutely hate the Atlanta Braves and the New York Mets. Philly is currently sitting at a -160. Braves sitting at a +145 on the money line with Waldrip on the mound. Luzardo's on the other side here for the Phillies, man. We've got a total out here at 9, juice to the under at -120. Team total for the Phillies is currently at 4.5, and it's 3.5 juice to the over for the Braves. They're both juice to the over in this. I think both teams are going to be able to hit the ball here. I'm going to most likely be on a Sunday night baseball over, something I don't usually do quite often, but I just think we're seeing a 9 on the board for a reason. Gorky, take it over, my friend.
For me, this spot is very tricky. I would like to say it's going to be the Phillies, but here I can see that losing streak from the Braves getting broken by his name is Hurston Waldrop. This guy has been absolutely money in the bank. So it's Braves. Take him on the money line at probably plus money, right?
+145 currently sitting right now, full game.
Yeah, just, you know what? This is the game where you put it on a third screen. Before this game, you put college football, and then the CFL game as well. First game of Labor Day long weekend starts today, ends tomorrow with 3 straight games. So yeah, my opinion is you buy a third TV or TV source and just put this game with the Atlanta Braves on the money line, sprinkle a little bit, and just enjoy. But tread carefully. Do not, play $1,000 units. Blah blah blah. Sprinkle.
All right, you're locked in. So you're on the Atlanta Braves money line, Gorky?
This would be my only move if I was to make one. So yes, that's what I would play if I was to play. But full transparency, I'm not planning to play. There's too much football action for me to worry about this game that's basically in September and sort of it is what it is.
Yeah, Gorky, for real. All right, well, Spoon, take it over, my guy. Atlanta Braves, Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah, I'm looking at the over in this game as well. Hurston Waldrop has pitched amazing since coming up to the major leagues, but he's not really seen the who's of batting offenses. Miami, the White Sox, this is a Miami team that's missing their 2 best bats. They got 1 earned run off them in 2 starts. Cleveland wasn't able to get any runs off him in 6 innings. The White Sox, he pitched 7 innings against 0 earned runs. Cincinnati tagged him for 1 earned run in his very first start in 5 2/3. But this is a guy that if we look back to his minor league statistics and so far what he's done in the majors, he struggles a lot more with lefties than he does righties. He has a .4 whip versus righties on the full season. He has a disgusting splitter that comes out of his hand. He throws it more often than any other pitch in his arsenal. And it's tough for some of these young guys to do anything with that. There's not a lot of splitters that you've seen that move in that way, but this Phillies lineup is just on a different level than the White Sox and the Marlins and the Guardians and the Reds. This Phillies offense is real. They didn't put up a ton of runs yesterday. We're still able to get out the money line. I expect him to give Waldrop his first kind of wake up to the major leagues. You don't see a lot of guys come out here and go 6 starts without giving up more than 1 earned run, and I don't think we see it from Waldrop either. Jesus Luzardo is another guy I kind of had circled for this start as being a bad one for him. His last outing versus the New York Mets, he went 4 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, had 3 walks and 5 hits. He ended up getting ejected from that game by the umpire after he was taken out by his manager. Guy just complete lack of just self-discipline and control out there on the mound. He was having just a tizzy fit. I think all these umpires, they know each other. They work in small crews and they bounce around. So they work together a lot. I think if you piss one of them off, you piss all of them off. And I think he's going to have a real small zone here working on the mound. This guy, when he's been put under a magnifying glass, has not really pitched that well. He's had some good starts. I vividly remember him tipping pitches at the beginning of this season. I think this is just one of those blow-up starts. If he's not getting the calls on the edge of the zone, he's going to lose his mental edge and start to melt apart there. He has been better at getting lefties out, and that's what you need to pitch well against the Braves. But if you're not getting those pitches, you're going to have to start leaving pitches in positions you don't want to. And I think the Braves lineup can get runs off him. Don't have a ton of faith in this Philadelphia bullpen either. Duran, their closer, has gone on back-to-back nights. Strom, one of their best setup men, has gone on back-to-back nights. So you're going to need really good outing from somebody like Alvarado, who we haven't seen that a lot from, or David Robertson, if they're going to try to win this game. I had that over circled too. I'm seeing it come down to 8.5 here. I think if we wait throughout the course of this day, we'll be able to get less juice on that 8.5. I have a lot of action today, so I'm not rushing to this game to place one last bet. But by the time Sunday Night Baseball comes around, I think I'll probably be on that over. Just not a lot of faith. Either of these bullpens. Iglesias pitched last night as well for the Braves. I think they had 5 guys go. He's not in a position where he won't come out and throw, but just that repetition, getting to see the same arms 2 days in a row makes it a lot easier for the bats, and especially guys like the Philadelphia Phillies. There's so many people in here that can score runs. I think it's a rule of thumb for a lot of people just to take that Sunday Night Baseball under, and I always like fading rule of thumb ideas because I mean, it's out there. It's not like that's a secret from the books. They were really worried about that under. They wouldn't be moving this total down. It would have already opened down. So I I think this is a spot where I'm looking at that over with you guys.
Yeah, I might lock it in. And shout out to Rod Z in the chat, my guy Rod Zawacki over there. Give him a follow. Great follow. Great capper, great person. Shout out to Rod Z over there.
Is baseball like football where the umpires work together all season?
No, it's a
The
different
crews do change.
Yeah, the crews. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's different every single game. No.
So for a series, you'll have the same set of umpires work together. They'll rotate around during the series. Whoever's on first base moves over. The guy calling the plate changes each game, but they'll move around together in packs for a while, but they end up changing out. You're not working with the same 3 guys the entire season.
Yeah, okay, that was the question.
Gorky, anything else you have to say about this ball game before we recap and talk a little bit college football before we get out of here? Our last show on walk-off wagers for the 2025.
About the ball game, no. I have some action that I want to give out in college football and the CFL at the very end, if you will let me. So that would be my my wish. And I want to mostly thank you guys and thank everybody for following us all season, and you guys for the opportunity that you've given me this couple of times. I got my start of confidence to be able to build and now be able to be on the shows on Fridays. And it's all thanks to you guys, because you guys gave me this platform, Walk of Wagers, as the starting point. So thank you very much for that, fellas.
Hey, we appreciate you, Gorky. All your support means a ton to us. You sharing your hard work with us on screen with people, it means a lot because you're consistent about it. There's not many people that are consistent about what actually wanting to come on camera and give out play. So shout out to you, my guy, Gorky. Please take it away. Let us know your CFL and college football action before you get out of here.
Okay, I am against the world on Miami by myself, a lone wolf today. I think that's going to be a hell of a game. And I hope that Mario Cristobal does not let himself down, first of all, because this is probably the best quarterback that they have had as in terms of a pocket passer in a long time. Way better athlete in Cam Ward, yes, but from the pocket still has to improve on some things, and he's the number 1 pick in the NFL. So that's my expectations. They are up here. In terms of CFL, you guys already know my picks. If you don't, check them out on Friday's show. I like all the favorites in terms of a three-team parlay. Calgary, Saskatchewan, and Hamilton Tiger Cats. Hamilton Tiger Cats are going to roll the Argos. But tread carefully, as every time I say that, the Argos play their guts out.
What was the money line parlay number you got on that, Gorky? If you have it in front of you.
Plus 107.
Okay, nice.
I gave it out on the show, and I remember it.
There we go. All 3 CFL teams' favorites on the money line, all parlayed up in one parlay for plus 107.
Today, just for fun, I'm also going to add the first quarter minus 1.5 for the Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Today's play.
Rough Riders minus 1.5 on the first
quarter.
Got it.
Yeah.
Awesome, Gorky. Listen, man, we appreciate your hard work, Gorky. And you guys are going to see Gorky every Friday breaking down football with Jimmy in the Bag and company.
Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, all of them. As long as Pop Sports Radio, Mr. Jeff Slaughter, and the great people here, Cabby, Jimmy, and these guys will have me, I'm more than willing to come on.
Well, we appreciate it.
Thank you, fellas.
Appreciate you, Gorky. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and good luck all your action spoons. Anything you want to say to Gorky before he gets out of here?
No, just really appreciate having you on all season. It's been awesome. You've had some absolute killer days on the show. including sweeping the board one day I vividly remember. So it's
The
been
first
great.
day, I think so.
Yeah, the first day I remember people in the comments were like, "Bring Gorky back! Bring Gorky back! We need Gorky."
For the experience, it was one for the truth, for the will of the truth. It was one game, but hey, you gotta start somewhere. Like in college football, I'm 0-5 right now. Yeah.
It's a long season though. It's a marathon, not a race. So
hey bro, that stuff that happens yesterday, like Florida State, who had Florida State winning outright? I had a -14.
I was with you. I was on Bama 13 and beat that line movement going into that game. And
but we needed 14 in order to win. You need 14.
Yeah, and they couldn't even put that up. That is crazy, man. Shout out to you, Gorky, my guy. I appreciate you sharing your hard work as always. We'll see you, I'm sure, we'll see you on Friday, but we'll also see you on Saturday on the tailgate with me, Dabby Cab, and Moose Money Bets. Gorky, anything you want to let the people know before you get out of here where they can find you?
Don't worry about finding me. They can find me as long as they find Pub Sports Radio, Jimmy and the fellas. It's all about the team. It's not about me. Let's get it. Let's get paid, guys, and just enjoy sports, get paid, but gamble responsibly.
Yes, sir. Good luck, Gorky. Appreciate you, my brother. Shout out to Gorky, my man right there. Appreciate him showing his hard work. But yeah, I also got to show appreciation to everyone in the chat for showing out with us every single Sunday. We've had the similar crew in here every single week, it seems like. Been consistent. We've gotten a lot of good feedback from you guys, and we only want to get better on here, make the show better from when we came on here, and I feel like we did do that here. So shout out to my guy Spoons. It's his idea to do this whole show, and so shout out to him, man. Did a lot of good things for Pub Sports, grew the channel, and met some cool people along the way. So shout out to you, Spoons. Spoons, before we get out of here, my guy, this is our last episode ever. Let the people know your action, where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on X at Spoons Bets. Share all my action. Sometimes put some extra plays in the comments there. Excited for college football. Off to a pretty slow start as far as how many bets I've made, but I'm 3-0 so far, so happy about that. Absolutely loaded card today. 10 bets. Reds money line -134. Off to a bad start. Padres +116 money line. Rays -138. Brewers Blue Jays over 8 -120. Seattle -112. Mets -1 -119. Cubs and Rockies under 11.5 -120. Orioles money line. D-backs Dodgers over 8.5. The Yankees White Sox over 8.5. And I'm going to join you on that Athletics +1.5 there. I'm going to get -125 on BetMGM. Biggest card I've had of the MLB season, but all my bigger cards have been doing pretty well lately. It evens out when you have the edge across that many games. You'll find a couple spots that you get unlucky, but I think it's going to be an overall good day.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Spoons. I have a lighter card today, guys. I got 3 plays that I made official. A couple ones I'll go over again that I didn't move on, that I might move on, guys. But we are on the Blue Jays Brewers under 8 at -110. And we also moved on the Athletics money line +130 and also the run line at +1.5 at -130. And I'm really looking hard at Braves over 9 +100. And the D-backs Dodgers over 9 -105. 2 games that I'm looking at very closely here throughout the rest of the day before these games go off here shortly. So be on the lookout. Follow me on Twitter, Wine Time Sports. You can catch us every Saturday here. The tailgate going forward, guys. Me, Dabby Cab, and Moose. Guns is on there. Gorky's on there. Stacks is on there. Kongs is on there. Spoons is going to get on there one of these days as well. So shout out to you guys and appreciate all the support. Nasty Nate, I'm on Virginia Tech today +8.5. I got the line a couple weeks ago. I beat all the line movements yesterday and I still lost those games. So
if you keep
tread lightly.
You're going to have more successful days coming, Wine.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's just yesterday was kind of like oh, man, you guys should have seen me. I was locked in. I woke up at 3:30 a.m. over here on my time, did the show. I was watching sports all day. It was crazy. And today we got to draft my fantasy football league. So looking forward to that, guys. Good luck to everyone. It's Labor Day weekend, guys. So everyone that's off Monday, be safe out there. Got some good games going on today and tomorrow. NFL starts on Thursday, guys. That's the reason why we're not doing walk-off wagers on Sundays, because Jimmy's going to have his show back on here every single Sunday, 8 a.m. my time over here on the West Coast. He goes over the entire NFL card. He's going to bring cappers on. Me and Spoons I'm sure will be on there at some point this season as well. So be on the lookout for us. We're still always going to be at Pub Sports Radio. My guy Spoons is over there with the Kyle Kerms channel.
Make sure
Spoons,
we get
anything else?
entries into the Pub Sports contest. We're running 2 contests for the NFL season cappers contest where you enter 5 picks every single week. Got to do that before the end of the night on Saturday. Whoever, I don't know quite the payouts, but I think they pay out the first 10%, and then whoever has the most perfect weeks is also going to get a bonus in there, as well as our Survivor Series bracket where you got to just pick one team each week to not lose and see how far you can get. I don't think they went very deep the last few seasons, so see if you can beat all the guys. It's $100 entry. Everything gets paid out. Great time, supports just all the people here in the chat. Somebody's going to get rich off this. And it's less than like $8 a week by the time you figure out how much you're entering. It's a really good deal, good time. Wine time. It's been a pleasure working with you this entire baseball season. Look forward to capping some football with you here shortly. I know you're gonna have a great week in college football coming up. Doing so much work. It's great to see it.
Let's go, baby. Looking forward to it. And one more shout out to our guy Gorky. Said thank you, brothers. Cheers. Wine time and spoons. Shout out to your donations. Everyone's donos today, guys. It means a ton. There's Dabby Cab, South Carolina -6.5 now. Wow. Crazy. That game's gonna be coming off here in a couple hours, guys. So if you guys have a play in that, let us know in the chat. But guys, we're gonna get out of here. Love you guys. Appreciate everything through these last couple months here at Walk Off Wagers. Really appreciate it from you guys. Please hit the like button on your guys' way out. And without further ado, let's leche those bookmakers, baby. Let's go.